So what I have right here is the Even Reality AI smart glasses. Now I'm overdue for some prescription glasses as these are now starting to fall apart. And so I bought this out of pocket, and I do have astigmatism. So the grand total of this came out to be, here's a copy of the receipt, just under $800. Now, Even Realities did reach out to my company a couple of times, and I never got back to them because I personally wanted to test out this product and see if it's any good. I'm a huge fan when it comes to the Ray-Ban smart glasses that you might have noticed after following the channel. I use them all the time, especially when it comes to content creating. But the thing I don't like about those is they look better as sunglasses form, not really so much a daily clear lens. But Even Reality does things differently. Now I did get the G1, I believe the B2 version of this. Their naming scheme is kind of weird. Yep, this is G1 and this is the B1. This is the square ones. All the influencers or content creators you see on YouTube with the circular ones, those are the ones that you receive for free. Again, I prefer buying things out of pocket because I get to give you guys the honest opinion if this was worth it or if I totally just got ripped off. So the unboxing experience, honestly, it's very Apple, which is a darn shame. Everything has to be compared to Apple, but this unboxing, Apple was the first one that made like unboxing experience this simple and unique. Because look at this, you got a hologram of the frame itself on the side profile. That's pretty cool. And I believe what we just removed was like the welcome thing, how what to do, blah, blah. But the presentation's pretty amazing. Unboxing it, it's letting us know there's some additional accessories down here, which is quite nice. But here it is inside the case. Leather, pleather-like material, pretty nice. It's actually very compact. And then right underneath here is our glasses. Now, honestly, first impressions, it's heavy. It's definitely a lot heavier than like traditional thin glasses like I have right here, but not by a whole lot. I'll be sure to put them on the scale, but just putting them on, first impressions. Oh man, these are pretty clear. So unfortunately, these do start at $599, which is quite expensive. And then an additional $150 to get them prescription. So mine is prescription, and it took like 2-3 weeks because they have to be custom made. And if you get prescription lens like I did, oh wow, these don't look that bad. It's not refundable because they're custom made lens, and I'm pretty sure the company is still growing to the point where they cannot afford returns. So I'm stuck with these. For you guys, first impressions, I mean, these feel quite incredible. And it's hard to really tell, but there's like a square outline right there. And that's where the projection text is projected in your field of view. But peripheral, I can see pretty well on my sides. It's not as bulky as I originally thought it was going to be. Now in here is the instruction guides. Welcome to G1. I'm pretty sure G1 stands for first generation. Hopefully in a couple of months they don't make a second generation. Hopefully it comes out next year instead. This way I don't feel ripped off. And then advise us to scan an app and we'll walk us through the whole pairing procedure. So here we are. Let's go ahead and launch the app. Welcome. And now we have to have these glasses updated. Okay. All right. So while these glasses are being updated, let me go ahead and spend like a week using these as my daily drivers and test these out. And I'll give you my honest review if this is worth it or avoid it. Give me a week and let's see what happens. Okay, now that I've tested these glasses out, wore them day to day as my main prescription glasses, I have a lot of things to say. Some of these are pros, some of these are cons, and I'm also going to share with you the reliability as well as durability, how well these glasses are built. So let's start off with the pros. So these do have built-in AI. It's the first party AI, Eden AI, but you can substitute this with ChatGPT if you need to. However, if you have a subscription like I do, you're unable to actually log in and sign into your account. So that can be a bit of a bummer. But one of the most amazing features about these glasses is the built-in display, which can help you with a lot of amazing, useful things. One of which, if you have in-laws that speak a different language, like mine, they speak Korean, and the translation ability that these glasses have are pretty phenomenal. But however, there's one thing that's not really well talked about, and that there is a subscription that you could actually purchase. Not necessary, but you can. Let me elaborate. And here we go. It does require you to launch the Eden AI. Yeah, I was using the teleprompter earlier. But this is basically homepage, the layout. Pretty clean, easy to use. In the translations right here, I have it set to Korean and English. But on the top right here, there's a store, which allows you to purchase hours on how long you would like it to translate, if you like to use Translation Pro. Now the reason why I'm highlighting this because you need to buy these little hourly package if you like to use this as a more professional setting. Because by purchasing one of these, they will actually save the translation. So you can actually go back and refer to. So that's kind of obvious why they like to charge this. But I like the fact they have that ability, but requires a subscription. But for business purposes, this can make a lot of sense. Now I have used a total of 41 minutes. I didn't pay for anything from past conversations. But here you have Korean, Japanese, Italian, Hindu, German, other different types of German, French, so much. There's like a lot of languages it actually does support. All the main important ones should be listed right here. And I'm pretty sure if there's some missing ones over requests or over time, AI will be so advanced to the point where it's able to also translate. So there's quite a bit of languages options you can select from. Then if we exit out of here, this top portion right here shows us what I have selected as my display. If I go down, I have dashboard abilities. I like using the minimum because the minimum would just show me the date and time and the current weather conditions. And this is activated by simply just looking up. But you have dual if you like to give yourself more information, or full, which honestly you're a rebel if you could run all this information at once because it does take up a lot of space. But here you have the ability to change the widget over here from your quick notes, stock information, the latest news, which you could customize if you're more into tech, economy news, vehicle, and etc. Or you could have maps always display showing you the location where you are at. Again, minimal works extremely well, but I do like the fact it's all customizable, including the time as well as the temperature. Now these screens can go up to 1000 nits of brightness, and from my worldwide experience, even in a broad sunny day, like here in California at 100 degrees temperature, I'm always able to easily read what's on the screen, everything from my notifications to translations or just knowing what time it is. And it is automatically adjusted with the auto brightness. You can enable by simply tapping on your display right here, or you can manually enable it and max it out. And pro tip, if you're using a teleprompter, I recommend you maxing it out, but there's some cons about the teleprompter I'll highlight in just a moment. Now the cool thing about these glasses that I really do appreciate, very similar to like the Pebble smartwatch, these are open source. So this can be driven and powered by the community. So over time, I wouldn't be surprised if more tweaks or features get integrated to these glasses, especially in the widget page for your dashboard. But I'm still very impressed with the technology, the way these work, because from the outside, even with text illuminating on your screen, people from the outside are unable to read exactly what you're seeing. Only the user could actually see this. And after replacing my main daily driver, these standard glasses that I picked up a while ago, I've actually gone through my entire day without realizing I'm wearing these. It's until a notification will pop in and then I realize, oh yeah, I'm wearing smart glasses. It's so cool. And since, after all, I was already somebody who wears glasses day to day, the design is very similar to like my previous day-to-day seeing glasses. Nobody noticed I got new glasses. Like only 1 or 2 people out of like 20 recognized the change, but I did spend the extra time to purchasing these little solar cover-ups, as these are like $100, and these simply just attach onto your glasses like so. This way I could use these as my daily sunglasses if I need to, and they simply just come off like so. It's a lot easier than carrying 2 different pair of sunglasses like I previously had to, which takes up space to the point where I have to clip it on my shirt. These simply just go into my pocket, but I do wish they included like a travel case. Additionally, these glasses are easy to bend as the arms are made out of aluminum, which allows you to actually bend these and flex them to your personal head preferences, including the nose piece, which does come included with 2 additional ones in case you lose one of these or it gets damaged over time. But if you don't have access to like their showroom gallery and like some LensCraft locations or something like that, or maybe in the near future they'll become available, you can, if so long as you have access to a 3D printer, there are 3D files you can actually 3D print, test fit them that way. But when it comes to incoming notifications, they do pop up in my field of view, but since the display is slightly rise, it's not directly in line of my sight. It's not at all distracting, where to the point where I could confidently drive with these without feeling like they are a massive distraction. In fact, I see these more of a bonus, especially when you're actually in a dinner situation, eating out, or having an important conversation. You can see your messages and stuff in your field of view without distracting the other person or being that one person who's constantly looking at their phone. I notice with these I'm less distracted and looking at my smartphone as well as looking at my watch as well. But while driving, I have noticed the dashboard does come on, but if you need to, you could always just go onto the app and go into the head setting, and you could adjust the angle that you like that display to pop up that dashboard. 60 degrees is the highest, but from my experience 40 to 45 is like the sweet spot. But if you like the display to always be on, you can always just set it at 0%, and you'll find out it's not really annoying or that distracting. And then when it comes to the overall battery life, at the end of the day, from 100% all the way to like 11 p.m., I still have over 60% of battery life remaining, which led me to believe these glasses can easily last me 2 days under a full charge without charging. But the travel case itself can also allow these glasses to receive an additional 3 days of battery life, as the travel case does have a built-in battery, and these charge wirelessly as there's no external terminal like other smart glasses are. They have like little terminal pins. These just wirelessly charge. You just fold them, put them in the case, and the case will give you feedback if you place them down correctly, and they'll immediately begin wirelessly charging. But now let's talk about the cons, as these are not at all perfect. So although these have a built-in microphone, you are unable to answer phone calls, as all you will receive is a notification that an incoming call is coming your way. But when you pick up, you have to either use your smartphone or your smartwatch. But I do understand why there's no built-in speaker, as I'm pretty sure this will cause the glasses to not last as long under a single charge. So pros and cons right there. And another con is if you're a prescription user, these glasses retail for $599, but if you need prescription, it's an additional $150, and it's non-refundable. You only have 24 hours to cancel your order, but past that, they're being made and they're gonna get shipped out. And then, even though these are promoted to have a teleprompter feature, I tried using these. Honestly, I am not using them. Even while recording this video, I'm not using them due to the fact that the teleprompter is kind of above my eyes. So if I'm actually utilizing the teleprompter, I need to re-angle the camera or myself and face like this to make it seem like I'm actually looking at the camera, because I'm just going to be looking up here. Like, say for example, I'm going to read the last thing that's showing me right now. So this is me reading a teleprompter. Topic of interest for research. If you have any specification questions or need assistance on clarification topics, feel free to ask. That's basically me reading the teleprompter. It was quite obvious I wasn't making any direct contact to the camera or my audience. And then another con I have about these is, yes, they look absolutely amazing. It's hard to tell these are smart glasses, but the lens themselves, they are plastic, which is a good thing, but they're pretty thick to the point where it looks like these are magnified at time. And these are so flat that they give like a mirror reflection effect, which sometimes look like an anime character or James Lee here on YouTube. But the mirror effect can sometimes come into my favor because I'm actually able to see exactly what's going on behind me, which is kind of like a cool gadget from the CIA where I can actually see what's going on behind me at times depending on the angle. But in a dark room, when these screens do illuminate, it does actually reflect some of the light and it does bleed out onto the wall, as you see right here. Something I just want to quickly highlight as what it can be a con. There is light leakage out of these. Only in a very dark room though. And then the square lens where the display is located in direct sunlight at some angles can give you a lens flare effect of like a blue flare on these lenses while using these glasses. But if you put these on in those situations, it will eliminate the lens flare effect easily. It just requires you to buy these for an additional $100. But the thing I noticed with these two square boxes where the display is located, it can give that illusion like I'm nearsighted or I need that extra prescription. Forgot the exact word, but it does give that a weird effect at times. And then they're not water resistant, as the manufacturer on their website state that they can be exposed to like light rain and such, but since they don't have an actual water resistant rating, do not expose these to splashes, so don't take these in the shower. And do not go swimming with these because there's no water resistant rating. Maybe the next generation will actually give these a water resistant rating. And then another negative about these is both the right and left side, these little boxes where the hardware is located for the battery, I'm assuming, as well as other hardware components. This is where the touchpads are located. Both right and left side can do individual things, which I'll highlight in a little bit, but there's no haptic feedback, so sometimes it's like hit or miss if I'm actually tapping it or not. But aside from that, overall, these things are built like a tank. Because even though they seem like they're heavy, but if we put them on a scale right now, let's put the heaviest glasses of them all right now, the Meta Ray-Bans. It's around, all right, let me change it to grams real quick. It's around 58 grams, right? These weigh less than that, as these weigh around almost 50 grams. And then traditional reading glasses, or my previous prescription glasses, is half of that. So these weigh slightly double of that. So they're not incredibly heavy at all. Not once had these glasses really truly irritate me where I have to take these off and like let my ears rest. These are actually very comfortable to use day to day. And the design elements are really good too. Even though they look absolutely amazing, the arms right here, these are actually made out of aluminum, but they have like a soft silicone texture right here. So as you put them on, they're nice and soft. They're not hard plastic or anything like that. And they are adjustable. These can be bent, as I believe these are aluminum. And the hinges themselves, they're screwless. So they're never gonna fail, especially if we actually take them and like try flexing them. The plastic material that the frame is built with is super stiff and strong, as these are not at all bending at all. In fact, I think my regular ones are more flexible. Yep, these are built like a tank. So durability, they will definitely last. So the control, as I previously stated, both the left and right side have touchpads, which you activate by tapping on that little divot right here. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. If we go into the main menu and we tap on the glasses right here, you could actually view your prescription, the battery life, but down on the very bottom where it says touch bar controls, tap on here. You could program the double tap gesture to do a quick command, and you have the ability to quickly do translation, teleprompt, transcribe, or none, or even dashboard in general. I have mine set to translate, and then there's a little video demonstration on how that looks like to activate. But if you scroll down, to activate the AI functionality, you just press and hold the left side and it will activate the AI, and you can use both the right and left side to scroll up or scroll down. And then when it comes to taking quick audio notes, which will automatically transcribe it to text notes, you just simply long hold on the right side. And then on dashboard, when you view the dashboard, you could tap left to view your notifications, or you could tap right to go to the next page if you have like news articles and stuff selected. And then in notifications, you could tap left to go to the next notification. And then for the teleprompter, you could either scroll up or scroll down, tapping on the right or the left. And then if you don't like notifications to pop up at all in your field of view, a triple tap will silence those notifications. And then the quick thing about the teleprompter does use AI to actually scroll down. So as you're reading the text, it will automatically verbally hear you and move to the next word and highlight it for you. But again, I'm not a huge fan how I have to look up to actually read the teleprompter. It's not directly in sight of my eyes, unfortunately. And it's not adjustable. So overall, for my real world experience, I'm very impressed with these AI glasses. I love being able to actually see my messages without having to take my phone out of my pocket or do a quick glance on my Apple Watch, especially at the dinner table or in the middle of an important conversation. This feels a lot more natural and respectful. I also have noticed I spend a lot less time on my smartphone thanks to these glasses. And if you're afraid about being bombarded with a bunch of nonsense notifications, just like the Apple Watch, you can customize what apps can send push notifications to your glasses and what cannot. So I like that ability, and you can also change the duration of the notification. It does also have turn-by-turn navigation where you could let the glasses guide you back home or to your studio, but I personally don't use it, haven't used it, due to the fact that it's first party. It's not Google Maps or Apple Maps, so the direction is kind of wonky. But somebody who lives in the city, I could definitely see them using this and being an advantage. But for me personally, I didn't use it just because of that reason. This feature is also primarily used for walking as well as cycling. But one of my favorite features about these glasses is the capability to do quick notes. You know, the left side will, if you long hold, press and hold, it will activate the AI. On the right side, it will activate quick notes, which you could just verbally say the note, it'll actually put it in text so you go back and review it. Another advantage this could give you is cheat sheets in your field of view. So if you're negotiating or doing like a live presentation and you're not using the teleprompter feature, you can put your bulletin of all the notes you want to highlight and view it all right there in your field of view without keeping your eyes off the audience or the person you're talking to. There is where I see these glasses truly shine. Especially if you actually go into the heads up settings and you select 0 degree. This way the dashboard with your notes widget is always right there. So final verdict, the thing about Even Reality, I was quite surprised to finding out that this company just started in 2023. And 2 years later, we now have their product. And after doing a little research, I found out that the CEO he's a passionate person, and I'm glad that these glasses are actually being successful. As these glasses were actually designed both functionality and stylish for day-to-day use. And I gotta admit, they absolutely nailed it. Without any funds from big corporation companies, it seems. I'm glad I was able to actually buy this out of pocket and test it out. This way I could share the real pros and cons about them. And it's still crazy to me that this is their first generation. I'm definitely looking forward to the next generation. But there you guys have it. That's my review of the Even Reality G1 with that B frame, not the circular one. I don't know, the circular one on my face would look weird, I feel like. Square is more of my shape for my face that just looks natural. Big kudos to those that could rock the circular ones. I am not built that way, unfortunately. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you found this video informative and useful. If you did, if you could kindly take 2 seconds to hit that like button and like. Those likes really do help out the channel. And just review certain products as they are without accepting any sponsorship agreements or something like that. Typically what happens when you receive free products, you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. I don't like doing that. I like to just hit record and review it as it is, truthfully, without any hidden walls and such. And if you're planning on picking them up, I'll be sure to also include a affiliate link in the description down below, which doesn't cost you anything extra. It just sends a small kickback to the channel, which again supports the channel to the point where I could continue making these videos for you. So thank you so much for clicking on those links. Now if you wish to watch more, maybe you'd like to see my in-depth comparison between the Meta glasses, the Meta Ray-Bans, as well as the latest generation Oakleys, I cover that in greater detail over there in case you were curious. And be sure to stick around by hitting that subscribe button, as I do plan on possibly doing a review comparison between these and the Meta in a versus video. So subscribe so you don't miss that. Thank you so much for watching.